What's up, everybody? As you can see, I got a new toolbox. I've been doing some organizing around the shop here, trying to get focused on what I got going on here, and that's making videos. You know, 2018 is coming to a close. We have one more race in the NASCAR season yet, and that's Homestead coming up this weekend. And yeah, it's got me thinking a lot about what I want to do for 2019, what my plans are, and making videos is definitely in those plans. I kind of thought of a new little series that I could start today. It's going to be called Justin Voss's One Day Projects, and that's a working title. But just something that I can knock out if I only have a day to make a video and want to do a little fab project, and you know, show you guys what I got going on. They're probably going to be pretty simple projects. This one for today, since obviously it is getting close to Thanksgiving here, which means that temperatures are cooling down, it's having a fire season, whether that's inside or outside. Over the summer, I had the bug guys come, and they told me that my little wood pile out by the woods needs to move. So I need to get it up off the ground because they said that's a hotbed for termites, and so I don't really have a plan. I need to get some firewood in. I have nowhere to put it. So in my garage at home, which I brought here, I had these pieces of aluminum from an old sign project that I made, and I'm kind of thinking I could make a stand out of these pieces of aluminum. This is really all I have. I have these two 2x2s right here, and looks like a 1x3, I think, right here. I don't know, I'll let you know after I measured exactly what it is, but this stuff's pretty thick, and it's aluminum. But, like I said, this is all I have. I don't have any more to add. This piece is pretty tall. Oh, can you see? This camera on this tripod is not ideal. It's a little heavy. And this is all I have of these 2x2s. So I'm thinking I'll cut the 2x2s in half and use the 4 pieces as the legs, and then cut this in 2 long pieces and 2 short pieces. It'll make like a rectangle to stack the wood on. I don't know, we'll figure it out as we go. It might not be as big as I would like, but it's all the metal I have, and making it out of aluminum will weld it up here on the TIG welder, and I won't have to paint it or anything, and it'll be ready to rock as soon as we're done. So that'll be cool. Today is the end of the day on Thursday, so if we're gonna do a one-day build, that means I'm gonna have to start right away in the morning, because tomorrow's Friday, right before I head to Homestead, so I'm gonna have to knock out this project and get this video up. So we're gonna start back up in the morning. I'm trying to think of all the stuff I've shot before this video. There's been a lot. I've been shooting a lot and not putting out a lot of videos, but that's gonna change. I did go to SEMA in Vegas, which was super cool. Met a lot of cool people, saw a lot of cool fab equipment, a ton of cool cars. So we're gonna come back tomorrow and do this project. In the meantime, here's some cool stuff I saw at SEMA. What's up, guys? It's the next day, and it's actually not the morning like I would have liked. I wanted to get started on this bright and early, but I had some stuff come up this morning. We just announced with Team Dillon that we signed John Hunter Nemechek, so that was kind of a big deal, and we put that out this morning. For those of you who don't know, that's kind of what I do during the week. I do digital media and social media for Team Dillon Management and Austin Dillon and all of our affiliated clients or whatever. So Anyway, I had that come up this morning, so got a little bit of a later start. It is actually 2 p.m. So this one-day build is going to be more like a half-day build, but that should be no problem. This is going to be a simple project, hopefully. The only thing I'm a little worried about is how thick this aluminum is, and my little 185 TIG welder here with no liquid cooling or anything could be a little bit of a problem. I think it'll be fine though. This should be a relatively simple build, but anyway, enough talking, let's get after it. So like I had mentioned, this is the only aluminum that I have. So I pretty much have no other option, if I want this as tall as it can be, to hold the wood in, to just cut this in half, which I need 4 of them. So I'm only gonna end up with about that much on each leg. As far as how I'm gonna cut this, I have a chop saw back there, but it doesn't really cut very good. The blade's wore out. It just needs to maybe be adjusted. It's never really cut real straight. So if you're in the market for a drop saw that cuts a nice curve and everything you cut, I might have one for you. I'm gonna try going with this. This is just a angled cutoff wheel. I really like using these, especially on steel. It doesn't work that great on aluminum. Well, we're actually gonna find out right now. If you throw some wax on it, it works really good. But I've found that anytime you're gonna weld anything that has had wax on it when it was cutting, unless you do a lot of cleaning, does not weld very good. So I'm gonna try and avoid any wax, plus I don't have any. And you just gotta use the tools you have. If this doesn't work, we might end up trying a hacksaw. But these are just the legs, so I don't actually have to weld on either end of these, so it doesn't really matter how they come out. Now that we have our 4 legs, they're all about the same length. I feel like cutting that the way I did with the Ziz wheel worked pretty good. So these will stand up like this and be used as the ends. The height of the upright will be used to kind of hold the wood in, and then the bottom will be to hold the cross braces off the ground so the wood's not sitting directly on the ground. To get a decent amount of height, I think we'll weld the other piece, the cross brace, I don't know, maybe somewhere in here. So now we're gonna have to get to cutting those apart. So my entire piece is 120 inches. Obviously I want this thing as wide as I can get it to hold the most amount of wood, but it also, I need to have 2 pieces to give it some depth. And I don't want it to be too wide where pieces of wood just fall down in, because there's not going to be a floor. They need to lay across, you know. They're going to sit on these 2 rails. But then I also don't want it too narrow where the whole thing tips over. And I also, the wider I make those, the less it can be this way, since I'm working with 120 inches total. So if I do 50 on the long end and 10 on the short end, I'm hoping that'll be good. Yeah, let's go with that. We're gonna go with 50, 50, and 10 on the sides.
I'm running out of time, every day goes by so fast. And every moment counts, baby, I don't wanna miss a thing. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, or hang out in hotel bars, driving somewhere in your car. We can sleep under the stars, we can sleep under the stars, under the stars.
Alright guys, so we're finally here at the welder and I'm running out of time. I'm supposed to make some ribs tonight, so I need to get home. We have all of our pieces cleaned, lacquer thinnered. I always lacquer thinner my filler rod. This filler rod is way too thin for how thick this is. That's probably gonna cause us a problem, but it's all I have here. I have my 4 legs here and I need to mark them for how high I want to put the cross braces in case they want to shove down in the ground a little bit. And the cross braces are pretty thick, so that's still going to hold the wood up too, you know what I mean? Even if they were all the way on the ground, the wood's still going to be off the ground. So I just set my square here to 3 inches, and that'll easily give me some reference marks. Using a scribe for this is always better, but like I said, we're in a hurry, or I'm in a hurry. I guess you guys might not be in a hurry. Having the metal clean as possible is probably about the most important thing. I currently have my welder set at 160 amps. Hopefully that's gonna be enough. Welding directly into the side of this is gonna be the problem. So I need to get everything tacked together and then we'll weld it up. I do have larger tungsten, so I am gonna replace this with some larger. What I had in there was some 16th, and I'm gonna put in some 3/32. I always prefer the smallest piece of tungsten that I can get, but if you get too small and too much heat, it just starts melting the tungsten away. So you kind of have to go up. Okay, so I don't know how this happened, but you see all these parts in here? I can't find, not one of these is for a 3/32. I have 40 thousandths, 16th, and 1/8 inch. So remember how I told you earlier about how if you weld with too small a one, it'll probably melt away? Well, that's probably what's gonna happen, but I don't know. It's either that or 1/8 inch. An 1/8 inch in my tiny filler rod seems like such a mismatch. I guess I'm gonna try the small. This is what I was talking about. See how it's... So I'm worried about this one too, because this is an 1/8 inch, so it's obviously going to hold up, but it's a red tungsten. And I can't tell you the exact properties of a red tungsten, but I do know, before we used to use ones like orange and gray, you'd use red for steel and green for aluminum, just because the properties of them work better like that. So now I have red and I'm trying to weld aluminum. So after the failed attempt, this is what we're going with now. You know, I'd say all things considering, that weld doesn't look too bad. You know, had too big of a tungsten, definitely the wrong type of tungsten. The tungsten kept trying to split apart and I had to keep cleaning it up. The filler rod was definitely too small, but it turned out pretty good. I hate to say this, but I'm out of time for this project, for this video. I'm not gonna be able to finish it tonight unless I wanna be trying to feed my kids at 8:30. And the reason is because I'm trying to barbecue some ribs. They take a little bit of time. I haven't even started the green egg. So I honestly gotta get home. I promise I'll show you guys this finished project in another video. You know, it's nothing special. You can imagine what it's gonna look like. This is one side, it's gonna be stood up, long pieces, rectangle, stack some wood on it. I'll show it to you in the next one. But if you like these kind of videos, I really hope you subscribe, like this video, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. I'm gonna be doing a lot more fabrication building projects, hopefully finishing them in a day. Like I said, I got a late start today. That's not an excuse, not an excuse. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. I gotta get home and do some grilling.